Okay, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and justice for all. Okay. I'll entertain a motion to approve the May board meeting minutes.
Make the motion.
Oswaldo, I'm sorry, Oswaldo, are we back on? I'm sorry. Okay. All right, we had a motion from John, second.
I'll second it.
Second, John Leone. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Carried. Ray, could you give us an update on the water plant road?
Sure. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Ray.
So the work is progressing on the road. All of the tree clearing has been done. So the tree clearing contractor has completed all of his work. As part of that, you recall they were required to provide 2 loads of lumber to the property owner, which they've done. So they fulfilled their obligation. So I actually submitted a copy of their application for payment, for a full payment of their contract. So the board should be able to take action on that if you haven't already.
Okay.
In addition to that, the rough grading of the road has been generally completed. There is one soft spot, pretty significant. It's gray clay, which we knew that we were going to encounter based on the test borings that were done. However, the amount of moisture that this gray clay contains was higher than expected. So as soon as any equipment tends to get on the clay, it forces the water up through the material and it really becomes a mess. So we've spoken with Scott and also with Tim, and I've spoken to the geotechnical engineer regarding best method of dealing with it. So we're gonna have the guys over excavate that section, place filter fabric down, put larger stone, it's about 1.5 inch stone, put another layer of filter fabric, and then place the road bed on top of that. What that'll do is actually create a drainage layer with that large stone that will allow the water to seep out and then work its way down into the drainage swales along each side of the road and then out of the cut. So Tim's been working on excavating the majority of that out, and Scott, is working with them as far as reinstalling that stone. Speaking with Scott, since the highway department actually did the bulk of the excavation work, right now, unless there's something else that he encounters, he doesn't expect that there would be any change in his contract price, that would be covered. So really, the additional cost would be the material for Tim as far as, bringing in that 1.5 inch stone.
Which we did most of that today.
Yeah.
So that cut is all filled in with the fabric and the stone. So we're back to working the top course with a foot of material and the fabric.
Great. So I'll take a run out there tomorrow, see how it looks. And tomorrow it's supposed to rain as well, so I think tomorrow afternoon we'll take a look at it. And so also the side areas that were exposed, those have been mulched as well, so that way to reduce any potential erosion. So right now the majority of the work is done, the heavy work, so to speak. And really, it's just the final shaping up of the roadway and placing the final material down. So right now, they're in really good shape.
Ray, who was the tree company? What was their name?
Sylvan.
Yes, thank you.
Because I had Candy run a spreadsheet on all the expenses to date.
Yeah.
And I didn't see the tree company on there.
Oh, okay. When I get into the office tomorrow, I will make sure that I forward that over to you.
Do you remember what the cost of that was? Approximately, just everything all in right now without the tree company and some of the miscellaneous expenses you talked about, we're at like almost 58,000, which isn't bad.
No, that's very good compared to where we thought we were going to be, obviously.
Yeah.
There we go. So total amount, it's Sylvan, total amount is $18,750.
Okay. So we may be below $100,000.
Correct. Yeah.
That's really good.
Which is, yeah, that's huge, obviously, compared to where we thought we were going to be, compared to going out and actually having to bid and have all of the work done by, outside private contractors. The highway department's really helped save some money as well.
Yeah, and I mean, I've said this before, but for the record, I just want to thank Tim and his workers because they saved the town and the taxpayers a ton of money.
Absolutely. So one other item that is still, there are a few minor items still part of the project. One would be a gate up toward the clearing crib when you first enter the site. So there'll need to be a gate to be installed there. So there'll be a minor expense, but again, I think the highway department can put that in. And then the only other item would be the tree plantings that have to take place. And based on the season, we're going to want to delay that from taking place until the fall, rather than try to do it, during the summer.
Okay.
So we'll see a few contractors to see what could be done as far as pricing on that when that gets closer.
Ray, excuse me, what did you say that 18,750 was for?
That was for the tree clearing. That was Sylvan Timber Clearing.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, they were the timber clearing contractor.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any questions for Ray about the project?
Sounds like you did real well with your work, Timmy's crew.
Yeah, and the timber guys, Scott's been great, and I know I've said it before, and I know the board's expressed it as well. But the property owners really have been great to work with. They've had questions, and we've reviewed things several times with them, but all along the way they've been very cooperative, and so by all means, we definitely appreciate their cooperation during this whole process as well. They've really helped out.
And I think it should be noted, I mean, the quotes that Ray gave us in the beginning were based on worst case scenario and based on us having to pay prevailing wages for all the work or most of the work. So, we were able to not have to do that because of Tim, because of, a variety of reasons, but it worked out fairly well considering. And our water users will benefit.
Yeah.
So, I know I sent you a text, Ray, regarding the question. It was brought up a couple of meetings ago, and it got brought up. John had asked me about it the other day, So.
Yeah, I actually reached out to the cell companies again. That was the cell companies, their covers for the cables running up along the tower. So I reached out to them again. I'm getting a bit of a runaround at this point. As far as whose they are, I'm just trying to pinpoint exactly which carrier the covers are.
One side got painted, Ray, and the other side didn't. I mean,
I agree. I completely agree. That's why I'm trying to figure out which carrier it is, because it is their responsibility, the carrier, to get that painted. There's no question about it. I agree that it is their responsibility, because even the one carrier that did paint it, they matched the color, which they got from which we provided to them based on the contractor that did the tower painting, and they went ahead and they painted it prior to putting up the cover. So I'm just trying to figure out which carrier, because there's several, which one that cover belongs to, and trying to continue to track that down and chase them down. But it is their responsibility to get that painted, as far as the carriers.
all right, what is short of finding out who owns it or whose responsibility it is, what can we do if we find that out? Can tell them that we're gonna, that we're gonna bill them if we have to get it painted, because I drive past that tower minimum twice a day, and to me, I don't know about anybody else, it sticks out like a sore thumb. We paid almost $500,000 to have that thing painted, and you got to look at this one side that's probably a 1.5 feet by however tall the tower is, rough spots, and the paint don't match. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Which side is it, John?
You're going from my house going south.
It's on the north side of the tank.
Right.
Yeah, it's on the north side of the tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll check on the contract. I do have copies of the agreements that were provided. So that is a possibility of going ahead and seeing about doing the work and then back charging the carrier once we find out who it is.
Okay.
Good, sounds good.
All right, keep us posted.
Yeah,
All
I'll
right?
drop, when I find something out, I'll drop you an email, providing the board an update.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know
Thanks,
if
Ray.
this helps you, Ray, or not, but it was the last contractor that was in there.
I'm sorry, the last one?
Yeah, the last one, whoever finished up last was the one that put that up, I believe.
Oh, okay. All right, let me go back into my emails then, because I was communicating with all the contractors as they were going in. So that's good. That's good information. I might be able to figure it out from there then, and just.
Yeah, because it was the
and then
last
just
thing that was
down that
done,
one.
really.
Okay,
And,
Thank
you know,
you.
and the other thing, as John said, maybe we might have to do it ourselves because we know how they drag their feet, with this whole process. And we don't want to get into the winter.
No, understood. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, now we want to do it now while obviously weather's with us. By all means.
Exactly.
okay. Thanks, Ray.
Okay.
Thanks, Ray.
Thank you, Ray.
All right. Take care, everyone.
Yeah, Ray.
I need a motion to accept the town clerk's report in written form.
I'll
Make
make
that
that.
motion.
Motion, John Leone, second.
I'll second it.
Second, Charlie Florio. All in favor?
All right.
Opposed? Carried. Tim, you want to give your highway department report?
Sure. Well, like I said, for the most part, we've been working on the water plant road. We took the old hay from down the old barn there. We pulled that out. We used we borrowed Scotty's hay bale shredder. Had the part-timers come in, they seeded it, and we went through and mulched it afterwards. So there's quite a bit of it that's been seeded and mulched on the slopes and everything like that. Last week we dug out an area of the soft spot, and we were surprised that it was so soft. So today we finally let it sit and dry. We went back in today, we dug out some more deeper and further down and stuff like that. And that's all filled in with the stone and the filter fabric. Right now we're hauling material from the shop up to the site for the top layer, another layer of fabric, road fabric, and a foot or so of material on top of that. So things are moving pretty well. There's going to be some, we're going to have to dig some ditches and put some stone down the sides and stuff. There's some more areas that have to be seeded and mulched as we go here. We're still dumping some fill down over the bank on the bottom. But things are moving fairly well up there. It's been dry, which helps a lot. Like I said, we had one complaint about, road mowing. Other than that, we've been doing stuff in between here little by little. The main focus has been up there. So, I talked to Zawak last week about the truck. It's just about done. He's waiting for a few more things. We could see at the end of this week or possibly next week. The other thing I have is the bit large culvert on Felton Road that we were supposed to do last year. So that still needs to get done this year. You put it off for a year, it's got to be done. It's only an issue when it rains. So if you guys could change the weather, it'd be good. And that was roughly, I figured around 25,000 for that we left on the table last year. So
Okay.
we have to figure out if that's going to get done or not, but it definitely needs to be addressed. The issue is everybody got busy last year, and now we're into the same situation this year again. So,
Yep. Hey, Tim, I got an email today from Chris Tague, our assemblyman, who said
Yep.
that they're funding CHIPS at 80% of the total.
Yeah, well, they released the numbers. The numbers are the same as last year. So they finally put something in writing and sent it out to us, but it says right on the top, the header right on the top says, could see a 20% decrease in the CHIPS money.
Yeah. Well, it's
So
going to be,
still not 100% guaranteed. But
they said it would be a 20% decrease, and if they got federal aid, it would go back up to 100%.
yeah,
Is the way that Chris, Assemblyman Tay, told it to me.
right.
So,
So what is your guys' feelings? You want to do some paving, or what do you want to do?
well, I think we can afford to do some, up to, I would make sure that you kept 25 to, or 20 to 25%, that you didn't use just in case.
Right. Well,
What's your
usually I
feeling?
take a bunch of, we're fortunate where we don't use just the CHIPS money for paving. So I usually take a lot of money on the highway budget to put with the CHIPS money to,
Yep.
do quite a bit. So,
The only disadvantage to CHIPS money is the fact that we got to spend the money up front and we don't get reimbursed until December. So if we end up with a cash flow issue, it could be a problem.
right. Well, and it depends on how early you do the paving. The earlier you do the paving, the reimbursement comes earlier,
Yeah. Yep.
Now that they've released numbers, everybody's going to be in the same boat probably, everybody's going to be wanting to do something, so.
Trying to line up the same people to do the work.
Right. And that's the problem. If you don't do anything this year, if you got, $50,000 or $60,000 worth of paving this year, next year you've got $100,000 worth of paving and everybody's in the same boat. Nothing's going to get done.
Yep.
Is the price of blacktop down because of the oil prices?
I don't know. I haven't purchased any blacktop this year yet. It probably is down a little bit because of the barrel of oil, but
Yeah.
the barrel of oil is starting to come up again. So,
Right.
But we're lucky. I mean, we get our blacktop and things like that through state contract or county contract. So,
right. Yep.
is it,
So,
Tim, is that it, or you have anything else?
that's about it. We're going to continue working up there and try to get that done. And, we'll do the other stuff in between as we can, but
Yep.
the public's just going to have to bear with us for a little bit. I think the water's a little more important than cutting grass, but I might be wrong.
I agree. Well, like I said, we'll get you a pooper scooper.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Any questions for Tim?
Good job, Tim.
Yep.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. We need a motion to accept the police report in written form.
I'll make that motion, and along with that motion, I just want to let everybody know that Joe Carey called me on my cell phone to let me know that Jim had called him and told me he couldn't make it. So Joe was supposed to make it, but Joe was working and he got tied up at work, and he apologizes for not being able to make the meeting. But I told him we understood that if he's working and he got held over, then we understand. And he said that Kathy, he said that he would be conferring with Jim and getting back to us as a date to when we can get together, as well as he said that Cody has not been turned loose on his own yet. He said he is going to be shortly, but as of right now, he said no, that is not true.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, John. So do we get a motion to
We need a second. Yep, you just need a second.
second, John Dravick? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. We need a motion to accept the water and sewer report in written form.
I'll make
that motion.
Motion, Kathy Ham, second, Charlie.
a second.
Yep. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. We need a motion to accept the code enforcement report.
Make the motion.
Motion, John Drabek.
Second it.
Second, John Leone. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Everybody got a copy of the proposed budget reductions. We talked about it earlier. If everyone's okay with it, I would entertain a motion to amend the 2020 budget to reflect those line item reductions.
Make the motion.
Motion, John Drabek.
I'll second that.
Second, John Leone. Any discussion? You know, and again, I just, as discussion, we'll monitor it closely and, you know, keep, if, you know, depending on which way it goes, we'll keep people apprised of, you know, if we need to take further action or we need to back off the action.
Okay.
So we have a motion, a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. I guess we don't need to ask for public questions or comments.
Okay, wait a minute. We have to make those adjustments to the water and sewer.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, Sandy.
Okay. We have a customer that had their meter pulled. So I had billed them in error because I had not marked their account inactive. So we need a motion for reduction of $162.34 plus penalties that have accrued. That's for $10 meter rental and sewer charges. And then we received a reading from a property owner up on Fitting Road who had showed usage of $180,583. They called, they were not happy with the bill. The water department went and checked the meters. The meters seemed to be working fine. They were not on the meter leak report. And apparently the homeowner found she was there traveling through, the water was off outside, and then when she came back, it was on full blast. So she does not know if somebody's been stealing her water or what happened. So I talked to Matt, and we're going to actually do a little bit over their normal average of 5,000 gallons. So the original bill was like $788.73. With the adjustment to the bill, it would be $26.65. The difference would be $762 plus penalties that have accrued since then. Matt talked to her, I've talked to them, so I would just need a motion for those few adjustments.
And before you got on the call, I had said that he has said for now on, they're going to turn their water off in the house when they're not there, and they installed cameras.
Yeah, I suggested to them that they turn their water off when they're not there. So.
All right, so Sandy needs a motion to adjust the bills, both of those customers.
I'll make that motion that we adjust both them bills.
Thank you.
Second. Second.
Thank you.
All right, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you, Sandy.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So we can move on to a motion to pay the bills.
Hold on.
Okay, I'm sorry, Charlie, I forgot about your issue too.
I got a call from the Register Star last week. I believe Matt sent everybody the email she sent me. And basically what it is, they're running two specials. They're running a segment, a whole paper for the graduates of the county. And they're also running a week-long series about all the athletes. So basically what they're looking for is support, you know, if we want to take an ad out. And on the bottom of the email, there's the prices. So I told her I would bring it to the board. I mean, the way times are, you know, I don't know if we can do this or not.
Charlie, I got email, but I did not get did not come through with the flyers or the pricing on what I got.
Basically, it's the bottom on about. I'm reading it right. A full page is $600. Now this is just for one. Like either or. You can, if you do both, you get a 25% discount. A half page is $300, and you could do it either up and down or the bottom half or top half. There is an eighth of a page for 75. A quarter page is 175. And then they have a sponsorship strip ad. I don't even know. I guess it's by measurement. You know, by how many letters, I really don't know. But I mean, a quarter page is 175, and half of that's 75. So that's it.
Any feelings on that? I mean, I'd love to be able to support our graduates with something, but these are tough times.
I think at the minimum, this is just me.
Yeah.
I think that I'd like to do a half page for each with the 25% discount, and I'd be willing to donate $100 of my own towards that.
Okay.
How much is it? I'm sorry, I missed.
A half page is 300, and
So
it's 25% off. So
Right.
you get $75 off of that. Or if you do both, it would be $2.25 for each, I believe, right?
And like I said, I would donate $100 towards that. So in reality, it's only cost the town what, a couple $100?
It would be $450 minus 100.
You can take 100 out of my salary.
100. Well, you got to donate it to us.
I'll
We can't
donate
take
it.
out of your salary.
That's fine.
And I
I
will
can do
donate. I'll donate 100.
And I'll match them.
I will too. I'll do something, whatever.
Okay. So,
It sounds like we can do it without the town paying.
yeah.
Just real quick, 100.
So Kathy, just write a check to the town and then
Okay.
code it at the bottom for the graduation ad.
So
Just so
Okay.
we keep track of
100
it.
each. 100 each.
Yeah. Well, there's 500 right there and whatever Sandy you want to give. So
Yeah, I'll do 100.
that's 600. So what can we get for 600, Charlie?
Well, a full page is 600 if you did one, or 600 each one's a half page. We get 25% off of that.
Yep.
So, that's 125. I gotta.
Why don't you, Charlie, why don't you figure out what we can do and we'll get checks to Sandy and I'll deposit them.
We can
We'll
do
figure out how much it is and divide it by 6 or whatever.
Yeah. So who we
And-
got? Matt, John, Kathy, Sandy, me.
And Matt.
I said that. Yeah. Okay.
And Charlie, I would say when you do it, because we're cutting money out of everybody's budget within the town, just make sure that it says that this was sponsored by the individuals of the town board, not by the town. That way it shows that we're not, we're cutting here. We are cutting everybody's budget, but then we're taking money out of our budget to pay for an ad. This way, it shows that we're being.
Bottom is it could be. I don't even know how we would word it. Provided by the town council.
Individual members of the town council.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also, what I put on
And the town clerk.
congratulations. Yes. I'll go over this with somebody.
Okay.
And basically what we're going to put on there is congratulations to the class of 2020 from the town of Stockport.
Yep.
Yep.
Say something during these extraordinarily tough times.
Maybe I'll ask her. I'll see what I'll give her a call tomorrow.
Okay.
And
They
see.
might have something written up already.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm sure they got a few of them to pick from. So, once she knows we want a half page in each one, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
And then the check would come from the town, and then
The town will write the check. I'll take the individual checks, deposit them in our general fund, and then we can write a check.
Okay.
out of it.
Okay, just let me know what I owe and we'll get it squared away.
Yeah, me
All
too,
right.
John.
Yep. Same here.
Yeah, I'll let everybody know, or I'll let Matt know, and he can email everybody.
Okay.
Thanks, Charlie.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yep. That's,
I don't
Um,
know. I just said, how'd you get my number? She's called my cell phone. I don't. She got it from somebody. Somebody threw me in.
Yeah.
just want to let everybody know, we opened today. We only had like maybe 5 or 6 people come in. So everything went well.
Good.
Good, good.
Yeah.
And Dave built an extra plexi window on the outside of the sliding windows with like a little at the bottom where they could put big enough where you could put garbage bags under it or
Yeah, like
or
a
whatever.
cutout.
It's a cutout. So it's an extra layer of protection for Sandy and Joanne when they're waiting on customers. We're looking at, I got Dave looking at plexiglass to be able to sit on top of that half door for the court. So when people come in to pay fines, that there's some protection there. They actually sell it with a stand that you can sit right on top of the door, and then when they're done, they can just take the stand down and put it inside the office. So Dave is looking for that. And then I talked to Bob Jensen about when people come in for the assessors, and I think what they're planning on doing is meeting out in the hall, keeping a 6-foot separation and just meeting in the main hall area with if people come in about assessments. So, we're taking precautions. I told you Dave's going to do extra cleaning. We'll just try to keep ahead of it. When court starts, I had told him, he needs to come in on Tuesdays after a Monday in court to make sure the bathrooms are all cleaned and, for the
That shield
employee.
did work well. We
I'm
did
sorry.
have, the shield worked well. We had 2 people come in today without a mask and told them they had to have them. So one went back out in his car and the other one had it in her hand. So she just put it up and then put it on.
So we got to look at maybe at some point, Sandy, purchasing some disposable masks.
Yeah.
So if somebody doesn't walk in, we can have them so they can take a mask off the counter or whatever. But we have put information in the window in the door that says you must have a mask to enter the building.
Actually, we have this little electronic thing that was donated a couple years ago. It's like neon. Well, I don't even think it's neon, but it has a running thing that says that masks are required.
So we're trying to take precautions. There's a form that the employees have to fill out every day. Do they have a temperature? Do they, I think there's 4 questions or 5 questions, Sandy.
Yep.
And you check the box.
They've been distributed today. We're also doing a customer log of people that come in, which would include the date, their name, their phone number, whether they were wearing a mask, just in case COVID rears its ugly head. We have some kind of tracer to go back to try to figure out who it was.
Which is exactly what the county's doing as well.
Yeah.
So actually, the county, we shared the county plan with all the towns so that they could take parts of it and use it in their town halls.
Is the county open?
We're not open to the public. We opened for departments or department heads, basically. We're rolling throughout this week. Different departments are coming back. And then Monday, the 15th, we're going to open to the public. We're going to only be at half staff, 50% staff. And then the other 50, either they've already submitted schedules in terms of when staff are going to work or not work. Some staff, we're encouraging them to work from home if they have that ability, if they have computers and so on.
Mm-hmm.
So we're slowly getting back into it. We're following the state guidelines for starting up, and we're trying to keep it at 50% for a while, and then we'll slowly increase the number. It's hard to do with Stockport because we have so few employees during the day. I mean, at any given time, we might have 2 or 3 depending on what day it is. And then when the assessors are there, you're going to have 3 more. And then on Thursday, when the building inspectors, it's 2 more, but it's, it fluctuates. There's no more than 6 and no less than 3 usually. but it's a small number. Okay, any other questions? If not, Kathy, you need to make a motion to pay the bills.
If we must.
Second?
I'll second it.
Second, John Dravick, I think, was first. All in favor?
I
Opposed? Carried. Charlie, motion to adjourn?
make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
I'll second it.
Second, Kathy Ham. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Good night.
Everybody have a good night. Stay safe.
Good night, everybody.
I'll get back to you, Matt, on that register star.
All right, thank you. Did you hear me, Sandy?
No, I'm sorry.
Good seeing you on screen.
Okay, thank you.